Okay, we're recording. What we're going to do in this one is just how I go about boost control. We're on a dyno. It's a GTX 3071 on this car, internal wastegate, forged pistons, rods, etc. Now you've got choices to start. I mean, I've done some adaptations so far off boost, so I've got these sort of learned values which I've actually applied to the VE table. So I'll reset them before I forget. So you've got a VE table that's sort of looking a bit like this. So it's got the beginnings of it. Now I've actually gone up to 4,000 revs, just rolling on the throttle progressively, sort of got just about into boost at 0.4 bar, so 140 kPa this row. And that'll do because it's steady state. It gets things hot really fast. So you've got a choice on boost control to either unplug your 75, so you're on actuator pressure. So you can do this on outputs. So turbo regulator 104 is its normal configuration. So that's how it would be if you just done a wizard setting. So that would have some boost. So you can turn it off either by unrouting it or unplugging it. Unplugging it will pop up a fault code. Unrouting it won't. But if you unroute it, you also lose the boost control menu because it has no turbo to control. So there's different ways of doing it. I'll actually leave it, I'll put it back routed, and I'll do it via the actual boost control menus. So turbocharger, boost control. This is currently only set for one map, so preset 1. I don't know what PSI actuator is in it at the minute, but what I'm going to do is just going to set all the duty cycle tables to 0. So we're in integrated min at the minute, that's set to 0. I'm just going to make the whole table, just copy paste, make it 0. Likewise on integrator max, pick a 0, copy it, paste it everywhere. So you can't have any duty cycles. The default setting is for 250 kPa, so 1.5 bar. I'll leave that for the minute because you can't do it anyway. Don't forget to write that in. So this will give you no boost. So the same as unplugging it or unrouting it, but without the fault codes. So we can embark on starting the thing. Let's say we're on the dyno at the minute, so there's background noise. Hopefully this microphone thing will do a good job of muting noises. Go back into the dyno. So I'm actually going to do is go into standard and actually teach it an RPM. So using the dyno in loaded mode, put the brakes on. So we're looking at AFR boost. Got to teach it some RPMs first off. Do my runs in fifth. We're going to stop the speed at 40 kPa. So it's just a test, doesn't really matter. So I can put some notes like actuate boost, just so it's got a note to it. So let's go into this, go to 3000 RPM. Tell the dyno, calibrates the roller speed, go back into ignitron, drop the screen a bit. Now what I generally look at, because it's an unknown, I'll just put it onto the ignition lock retard, just in case it's going to be active, and I'll be looking at what's, if anything's going on in here. I've already created some gauges, so gauges to look at is coolant temp, just in case it's hot, RPM, short-term fuel trims, and boost kPa. So just to get it to 3000 RPM. Fifth, teach it, and we'll to play a sweep run. Beepy noises in the background from the brake system. Only the front wheels are turning. Not running it linked yet, the dyno. So where are we? 2,200 revs. Build them up. Get it to 3,000. Teach it. sync. What I'll do, Dyno stops, do a sweep run. Whether I do full revs or not, I don't know. See what the fuel trims do, if there's any knock intervention going on. One thing I will do, just because I can, just go into limp modes. Yes, it's got the default. I always set this down to something less, half what the standard is. So there's three retards, constant cylinders. Just write that in. We'll drop into limp. I always do limp at 25% throttle, no turbo. Write that in as well. Okay, we'll go back to ignition knock retard. Shrink the screen again. Now I do actually start a log so you can see what's going on. Dyno's sat there waiting for me. So let's do a sweep run. Fifth gear, full throttle. Letting it goes down. Quirk of this dyno is even though it's in braked mode, once you've tipped and taught it, the RPM, the first run never has the brake. That's it. We'll restart that. Pause this a moment. Okay, should be recording again. We are. Laptop's playing up a bit. So I'm still recording. Trying not to hear Dyno screen, so that's the first run. It looked like it went very rich. Looking on AFR, down in the 11s. Boost price, actuator, but clearly has a bit of creep. So we started off bar 4.3, ramped up to nearly 1.3 bar. It's an internal wastegated GTX 3071, so my choice of setup. There we go. External wastegates for the bin. Right, so turn this off. Let's do another run. Still log in. Goes down. Stop it. Log that is. Log. Templates for fueling. That's the first run. So 1 bar. Lambda is rich. See the manifold pressure here. Fuel trims per say additive, a couple of percent on the second row, similar. So what we can do to see exactly where we are in the VE table if we want to make some quick adjustments. Click into VE, go up to the top menu, show recorded data instead of current. Now the engine's still sat ticking over the down. But if I click that, you can see that's where we are in terms of VE table and adaptions. About 2-3% too much fuel here in this sort of region. So we can sort of scroll back. Got good trims now to expand on this now. Trims squeezable, not quite so good here. Just clicking through it, so we'll see where we're operating in the row. Not 2-3% fat there. What I'll do is highlight that row, a bit of the row above it. Just going to take right right click, position -2 there, just to bring it below that. So I'm going to do -1 there. Right into ECU, and that was actual data. I did see there was some timing correction going on. We bring the lock back up again. So we're going to ignition, and tiny little bit of knock going on there. Number 4. So again, same thing. Want to see what's going on in actual tables. Click top thing, look at your advanced map. And you can see exactly where it didn't want the timing. So right in this range, it was kind of happy here, and less happy up here. So a degree out. It's not the end of the world. I'll actually do just highlight that row, nudge it back half a degree, and back to 17. Right in. One thing that's on there is target lambda. We're really scale this. Okay, well, whilst we're here, I'll rescale this. This only goes up by default to 220 kPa. We're going to be above that, so I'll rescale that. So double click, have that 300 kPa, 280, 260, 240, 220, 200, like that, 50, like that, 100, like that, 80. So that's rescaling the axis. We've got full axis for fueling. Now we've been in this zone. Just now it was up in the top row, so that's 0.8 lambda, which is a ton of fuel, not a hard boost. So this time we'll be actually operating around here. So to write it, file, save as, next version. I generally do this, I can always roll back if I screwed up. Yeah, trust me, you're going to screw up. I know I do. Fat fingers on the keyboard mostly. There we are. So that's going to not retard. Minimize the screen again. Just going to get rid of the first run because there's no break on that. So yeah, balance of torque 332, 269 torque, boost did the creepy thing. Worse this time, ironically. And AFRs were fat, tense. Okay, car didn't think it was tense. I suspect there's a lambda issue going on in here somewhere. We'll rerun. Let's have a look. So, start recording. Prepare test. Let's go again. See on the trace on the screen, lambda did go leaner. It's the target lambda was told to go leaner. Still a difference between the dyno's measuring the tailpipe, the car's reporting stopping off. Being adding fuel. Because we're adding fuel. I'm an idiot. I took fuel away, I didn't eat. I am a bellend. Okay. Try that again. So, looking at the top screen around. So adding 3, 4 to 4%. We're adding there. 2, 3. Okay. Right. Add 2 back in there because I took 2 out and I'm stupid. And on this bit, to add 7. That looks a bit heavy. Let's go back a bit. Let's do that. It's back to what it was. Okay. The top end it was actually putting fuel out. It's limited region, don't worry about it for the minute. Mission wise, 4 doesn't like it, does it? Still 1 degree. Keep an eye on that. I'm not going to worry about the degree at this point. At this boost level. It's further up the rev range. 6, 6. Yeah, begin to write your changes. Tip: if you're idling and you do a write, sometimes it will stall out, so you would flip the throttle when I write, so it doesn't stall out. Save as. Back. Okay, so back into not retard. Shake the screen a bit. Back on the dyno. So let's look at specific things. AFR. Okay, so it did lean out because I told it to. There is a significant offset between the car seeing and what the log's seeing. Let's go back into that. Because full boost. Target lambda. The car thinks it's doing 0.83, 0.84. Bang on. 0.84. So 0.84 times 2.7. AFR 12.3. Miles off that goes into the dyno. So we go the same RPM point. So we're at 5173 RPM. We're at 11.7, 11.8 AFR versus car thinks is 12.3. I suspect a Dicky lambda probe. Cars all mine. Right, we'll rerun it again. I do have other lambda probes for dyno. So let's prepare new test. Back into here, let's go low, we don't need that. Let's minimize this. Start recording. And again. Yeah, interesting. So I was watching a actual dyno LFR gauge then, as well as the dyno measurement bit of it, and they track one to one, so there's no weirdness between output AFR from the gauge to the dyno. They are spot on. But the car is saying it's leaner than it is. Save that log. Dyno. Okay, we're back. Change the lambda probe since the first screens were done. This is one of the last runs. There was an offset between the dyno lambda probe and the cars one by a reasonable amount. So in AFR terms, it was 11.5 on the dyno and reading 12.3, 12.4 according to the engine lambda probe. And we've changed that probe now. So this will be the first run after. Hopefully it will run leaner according to the dyno now, because it was running rich before. So I'll just prepare a run. Not done anything. Just write a note in the dyno. Here, car lambda. I'm going to go for a run. Let's get this back. No, let's get ignitron back on screen. We're recording already, so first gear. second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, full throttle. Stop this right this moment. Car's coasting down. File, save log. Dyno, lambda, car. Just open that up. What do we see? Trims. There we are going, Rich. Lambda 0.82, the 1.4 bar, because of the creep, 1.6 bar, because of the creep. Okay, let's go see where we are in terms of the VE table. We're up here, so okay. So 2.5, 3, 4%. Rich. So I'm going to do, gone up to that. Expression. I'm going to take -2 out of that. I'll take -2 out of that as well. Rerun. See what the trims do. -2.5 out of that. Write it. Save as. Not going on. Yikes. Yep. Number 4 is not happy. It's only 7 degrees of time. Shit. Pardon my French. That's not good. Not a good sign. Advance. This is where we are. That run. It's not feeling the love. Cylinder 4 at least. What I'm going to do is just enable cylinder selective correction, given that cylinder 4 is being a bit of a wimp. So kind of high in the revs, it's 7 and above, it's unhappy. So I'm just going to stick -4 up there, number 4. See if that does anything. Right, no, stalled it. Start again. Okay. Save. Right, let's rerun this. Just check on ignition again. Fuel. Okay, so do record. We'll look at not retard. So last run we did was number 6, the red one. So just get the other one off screen. Do a repeat run. See what happens. Okay. First gear. Second. Third. Fourth. Full throttle. See on the screen then, number 4 still lit up. It's disappointing. Save that lot. Dyno 6. Wrong one. Plug. Oh. There she goes again. Yeah, number 4 is not happy. It's 1.5 bar, and this is just actuator pressure. Jesus, 1.7 bar. Really? Go back into boost control. We can see if we were running boost control, it's 250 V1. We've got no duty cycles. None. None at all. And she just runs away to 1.7 bar now, nearly 1.8 bar. Ridiculous. Okay. Maybe submit investigation. We'll plumb it direct, bypass the N75 valve in case that's just plain wonky. Yeah, it's not like in boost. I'll stop that for the minute. We can carry on. So I've replumbed it for direct actuator pressure, no N75. See you in a bit. Okay, we're back again. We have a boost creep issue. It is a mechanical issue, but try and endeavour to get the boost to happen at least earlier, knowing that we can't control it at the top end. So on screen is the last run I've done, and obviously we have boost creep to 1.7 bar that time, but we're starting off a platform of 1 bar, so for the purposes of demonstrating boost control, at least between 4,000 and 5,000 at least, we're going to aim for 1.5 bar, which will at least take us to up here 6.6, so usable, albeit it's a front wheel drive car, so maybe not so much, but it's not making huge power either, so we'll get it as good as we can get it given the hardware that we've got. So back to the ignitron screen. So this is like the default boost request, boost control. It's on preset 1, there is only 1 currently. If you recall, I'd set integrate min to 0, I'll leave that there, and integrate max I'd also set to 0 to essentially give us no duty cycle. So we literally are wastegate pressure, obviously with creep. From experience, I know that 1 bar, I'd start off with something like a 30% number for a duty cycle. So I'll copy that and plonk that in the top row. Be 0 at the bottom. So I'll just do a linear thing, vertical, interpolation, give ourselves a flat looking duty cycle map. So this will be what it's going to use as a duty cycle to the N75 with its PID control as a starting point. I'm going to leave the integrated min at zeros for now. I just concentrate on the max. So I'm just going to write that in, save it, next version. One thing I need to check is, well, actually the limit set to boost requests. This is inlet air temp, so we're allowed 1.6 bar, that's enough. Engine coolant temp, we're still a bit cold at the minute, so it's not going to allow us full boost until we get to there, but then when we do, we're at 1.6, that's fine. Car's still warming up anyway. Limp mode's the other one. This is set to 250, so we need to give ourselves a little bit of headroom on this. Not too much. We'll give ourselves 265, just for some random number. Again, save that. Map check. 2 seconds is too high to my mind, so half a second. And I personally prefer about 50% throttle. Everything else is kind of alright, so save the file. So I'm going to go back into knock because we are very knock limited on this engine. Seemingly it's a 160,000 mile block with some wires code pistons dropped in and honed. I won't say any more on that matter. So we'll do another run. Prepare new test. So this one's going to be 250 kPa, which is our boost request. We'll see what it wants to do with it. We'll start that. We'll start recording and turn the main fan on. Okay. First gear. Second. Third. Fourth. Nice of that coolant temperature got up to 70. There we go. Bingo. Full boost. Full throttle, I should say. Okay, it's coasting down. Save that log. Dyno 8 250 kPa. What the boost duty cycles are doing. Okay, so look for my boost template. It's wider on screen. So we've got a boost request. Drop down RPMs. Boost request is a flat 250, so essentially wastegate's trying to be quite sharp. It's winding down. What I'm looking at is here. This is the actual duty cycle. So the PID is having a go to achieve best onset of torque from the boost. Integrated max is 30, so it's ignoring that at this moment, but it's headed towards that. As boost climbs, it tapers down to the integrated max. So we find it, say, 4205 RPM, where we're sat currently, 35% duty cycle. The integrated max is 30, but we're only at 231 kPa versus 250 request. Scroll up, you'll see that actually 230, 240. So we're pretty much pegged on the limiter up till 6, which is where the creep really takes over. So what we can say from that is that 30% I've given it isn't enough. So even though there's a little bit of wiggle room on the PID, so it's trying a little bit harder than the integrated max, but only by 3 or 4%. The actual boost is 220, borderline 230 kPa versus 250. So what we can do, we go back into our boost control. Here's our duty cycles. Essentially, you can just give it some more. I'm doing highlighting on that. So we're at 30%. We're not doing it. I'm going to give it 40%. Flat 40. To write that in. Doing that's quite laggy. So we could, if we wanted to, increase these numbers. We won't in a minute. I'll get a feel for what that 40% actually does. So we're going to do another run. Start recording. Get the log. Oh no, I'm recording. Let's ignore that. So, log's recording. Let's go back into not retard. Squeeze the screen a bit. Turn off the lower boost actuator on your run. It's only at 350 horsepower. A bit more torque. 309 versus 272, so I feel a little bit more peppy now. Boost to tap on a bit sooner than 75, keeping it shut. So prepare new test. So again, this is 40%. Just make that a note on here. So go. Okay, first gear. Second. Third. Fifth, full throttle. Stop that log. Save it. fine. Up and along. Let's get to some boost. Scroll down some RPM range. So, 5,000, 40%, still not quite making it. We did more boost, so we're up at 240 kPa. We're into the creep zone now, so 40% was adequate at 5.7, only because of the creep. So if we're going to add duty cycle, we don't need to add any duty cycle after 5.5. Because it's running away at that point. We can put some duty cycle in earlier. So we're at 40, 41, cap of 40, 4,000, we're still only 1.2 bar, so we can afford to give it more headroom. So a quick check on fuel. So we've got some more boosts. Engines looking decent, adding a little bit. To the just go look at the actual. So we're adding 2.3, 1.2. Yeah, up. I'll do there. I'll add 2. Type for save my life expression. +2. Okay. Like that. Let's have a quick check of how's the ignition doing. It's actually gone quiet. Interesting. So I suspect the knock that we're seeing is a little bit still there. Number 4, full revs. I suspect we're actually just seeing piston slap. High mileage engine, dropping forged pistons, clearances are not going to be correct. It's going to be very baggy. So it is quite a mechanically rattly engine. So knock sensors, good as they are, mechanically noisy engine will influence them. So go back to boost. Boost control, duty cycles. As I said before, after 5 and a bit, 5, it's doing all that it can because it's running away. But we could do a bit more duty cycle early on. So I'll nudge this up to 45. Now, and to try and get it going sooner, I'll actually bump these up quite a lot. Try and get it Westgate nail chat. Really, that. Nudge this up. Bring that slightly down. 43. So see what this does in terms of spool. Save the file. to not retard, shrink the screen, hide the previous runs, don't really care about them. So lose that run, so let's compare the last run to the one before, boost for boost. Okay, so you can see we did get some more boost, 1.55, then it fell away a bit, and then up to here it crept by 3, so this is our operating range. But we did make more torque, so up to 324 torque now. I'll take that. Okay, so that's just the last run, let's go again. Start. Log. Okay, first gear. Fifth, wide open throttle. We may get a boost spike, we'll find out. Log. Yeah. Open the log. Okay, just roost. Wastegate duty cycles, flat closed. 3.6, reduces down. Boost is climbing a bit, so we'll get to 1.5 bar at 4.2, using 50% of the duty cycle. Slightly go past that momentarily. So not so bad. And we're still not enough. Here we are. 5 again. So we get a bit of a dip. So we have a bit of a spike. Drop back to 244 kPa. So that's at 4.8 RPM. What does the dyno say? Oh, look, there is a spike. Yeah, so we did spike. More of a spike on the dyno than there was, but that's because I've got the wastegate set flat. We get this slight wibble going on here. 1.7 bar. 120 RPM, which is around here. 55 duty cycle. We do have some lag between map sensors and the inlet manifolds. We're not seeing that spike till uh, 4.3. Slight RPM shift between the dyno and the car. At that point we're at
Enter max is at 48. That's too much. That's causing us a spike. We go back into boost control. Go between here and here. So what I'm going to do, reduce these down. Just take the edge off it. Could argue this cell is kind of alright, but we'll just smooth it anyway. I'll do in terms of that, just see what the fueling's doing. Did make a fuel tweak. Percent. Look what that is. Around here. Okay. Go up a couple of percent. Let's check what's going on with timing. Cylinder 4 still the problem child. No. But again, we've only got 11 degrees, 10 degrees, 9 degrees of timing anyway, so. Okay, that's a good sign. So we're just going to get a boost kind of where we want it. Let's do another run. Some stuff. Fucking not retard. Screen. Test. Hopefully got less of a spike. Find out shortly. Okay, first gear. Full throttle, fifth. Might look better. Well, yeah. Boosts. Spike around 42. Less of a spike. Bumped to 260. As the dyno suggests. Boosts. Let's lose the red run. Yeah, we did reduce it. Not a great deal, but we did. So, yeah, 0.1 of a bar. So, if I did, I need to do more of that. So, back into control. Maximum 45 there. Bring that down to 43, like the cell next to it. This one too. Down at 45. Check the fuel trims. Fine until the limiter. They're really rich. won't fuel up here, that's for sure. Likewise. Okay. And quick check on timing. Timing. Still quietly moaning. That's on the overrun. Yeah, which to me just really confirms it's more rattle than anything. It's on overrun and liftoff. Actually under load. It's been alright. Okay, so save this. Let's write this. Save as. Next version. Not the turrets. Let's lose number 11. Test. Go. Second. Third. Fourth. Fifth full throttle. Save the lock. Dyno. 12%. Throttle. 250 kPa. We're climbing now at 4. A bump. We actually need a bit more. Interesting. Again, the bump's gone down a little bit. I've seen just a bit more of a bump there. kPa, but we're not quite managing it. 5.4. We are on a Dyno. Two kPa. kPa. The map sensor on the dyno near the throttle body. the fuel pressure regulator before, but it's got a load of other stuff hanging off that. The map sensor on the car closer to the map sensor on the Dyno. So just redo a test. I have backed off some of the start recording. Fifth gear, full throttle. Didn't overboost. The dyno say. .5 bar, fell away to 1.4. 5,000 revs. What did we have here? Same. Okay, so it's actually wanting more duty cycle now. 43 is okay at 4.4. And 5.6 is okay. So 4.4 or 5.6, a bit more duty cycle wouldn't go amiss. Back into boost control. So essentially in this zone. Right, up that to 45. Same here. Like that. Check timing. First because I'm there. It's good. Ignition. Pretty good, apart from number 4 again. Just at the very top. What I'm going to do, just because I can, is this region. Add a degree. 5, yes, it's got to 12 degrees. See if it makes anything of that in terms of torque, whether it just rips it back out again as timing knock. So, save file. Up retard. Start recording. Test. Let's get rid of the run. Fifth gear, full throttle. So on the screen there, cylinder 4, all lit up like London. The other cylinders may have been fine, but something's going on inside number 4. Ignition. Ouch. She's upset from the moment we climbed on boost. But only number 4. Yeah. It's not a happy cylinder, is it? Okay, let's go look at our boost again. Let's get some RPMs. Juke cycles coming down. Suppressed with on it at 4.3. Away a little bit wibbly wobbly. Dip at 4.5. Needs more juice to cycle there. Yeah, Dyno shows that. So up it. It's not 4.5, is it? 4.1. So this side, yeah, 4.8, 4.7, 46, 45 allowed. Exactly there. Once more. Up a little bit. Save as. Motion. Go back into time control and take back out what I put in. Because number 4, no likey. Cylinder selective on it. Preemptively pull out 3, see if we can leave it in the others. Suspect it won't be enough. That. Okay, let's record. Up retard. Let's lose 14. Test, go. throttle fifth. Well, sender selective box seems to have dealt the number 4. If that was actual real doubt, or the retarding itself did nonetheless. Okay. So what's going on with boost? Right, one target there. Slightly above. Pulls it back. Pulls it back, a bit too far. 47. 48. It's a bit more back on target. So this log doesn't look too bad. The Dyno makes it look worse, maybe. Green one's last run. To 1.5, that's 0.04. Resolution is making it look bad. So it's kind of getting there. So, key points, just to sort of round up this video, could go on for hours, no doubt will on this car, is you've got a requested boost pressure, you've got an actual, you've got your actual N75 duty cycle and the integrated max that you've set. So it's a balancing act of the integrated max and achieving the boost or exceeding the boost by whatever amount. Then you bring it back, so if you overshoot too much boost, the integrated max is too high, you bring it back. So you use that to dial in the boost control. PRD will do a pretty good loop, control loop, based around the integrated max setting that you tell it. So start slow at a lower number, work your way out. It's a safer way of doing it. So you get to find what duty cycle achieves what boost. Then the PRD will do a good job of controlling around that number to achieve what you've wanted. So we started at 30%. You can see we're actually at, on the log, of something like 48% integrated max. So in this table, this is where we're at now. This was 30 as a start. So start low, work your way up, have your boost request, do your data log, create a profile like I do on templates. It's much easier to zoom in on to the parameters you want. So RPM, throttle position, manifold pressure, request to boost, and the duty cycle request, the actual. And using that, you can sort of dial in the boost control on the PID. Once you're finished, if this was finished, it isn't, but I'll kind of show what goes on. If you highlighted the whole thing, copy, Control C, go integrate it in. Remember we set this to 0. I'm going to paste that in there. They make them both the same in a minute, but what you do as an expression, multiply that by 0.7. So we're essentially doing 30% of it. So that's then the tolerance band between min and max that the duty cycle is going to use for its PID control. Set the min once you finish doing the max. The max does the bulk of the work. So, I hope that's been of use to people. Any questions, post it on the pages, the ignitron Facebook page, and we'll see if we can help out. So, cheers guys, bye.